In previous class we have discussed about control statements. Among we have discussed decision making statements, that is if else, nested if, switch statement. So still I have one doubt in this code. So I don't know how this code will work, and both the codes are correct or not correct. I am little bit confusing, so please clarify my doubts. Here I am using two statements. One is else if ladder. So you know very well about else if ladder, right? So here I have written a piece of code. This code will work perfectly or not work. Let me know first. Please all of you read this code. This code will work. Here I am using else if ladder, right? This code will work. Can anyone reply me? What Java format? Here I have written. You assume that all these things are there. You just assume. Okay. Here is the main logic. You just concentrate on this main logic. Okay. You don't bother about that class name, main method. You don't bother. You just concentrate on this logic. Wherever I have made red color, you just concentrate there. SOP is nothing but system.out.println. No problem. So whether this code will work. What? No, output we will get URL, but this code will work, right? Okay, now see another code. Here I am using only if statement. So this code will also work or not work. Here I am using if condition, but here I am using else if. Else if I have used, but here I am using only if or and else statement. So both the codes will execute, or only else if will going to execute. Both will execute. See, if average greater than or equal to 80, if condition is true, execute this, or else check this condition. If this condition will true, then execute this. Okay, so among these two codes, the best code is what? Else if ladder. This both will give output, no problem, but as a good programmer we have to use a code like this, else if ladder. Is that clear? Understood this meaning? Okay, now today we will concentrate on looping statement. So in previous class we have concentrated only on conditional statements. So today we will see looping statement. See, in Java programming we need to execute a block of code repeatedly while some condition evaluates to true. In that situation we have to use loop statements. Loop means execute a code repeatedly, one by one, but how many times, that we can call condition. Based on the condition we have to execute a repeated of code, block of code. It may be single statement or it may be multiple statements. Okay, so in that situation we will use looping statement. There are three kinds of looping statements. One is for loop, while loop and do while loop. These all are three loops you have to study in this looping statements. So basically, why should we use loop statement? In we need to execute the block of code repeatedly while some condition evaluates to true. Means if condition is true, execute these statements repeatedly. That is the meaning of loop statement. So however, loop statements are used to execute a set of instructions in repeated order. The execution of the set of instructions depends upon a particular condition. So if you are executing a loop, it should be some condition. Based on that condition, you will going to execute a repeated of statements. Okay, this is about a looping statement. Here we have three kinds of loops: for, while and do while loop. All loops will going to execute the same functions, but syntax are different while using these loops. First point. Then compared to for and while, do while loop is a little bit different. See, do while loop is little bit different compared to for and while loop. We'll see later how it will going to different do while loop. Okay, so now we'll study about in for loop. Here it is used when the programmer knows how many times a set of instructions or a set of statements to be executed. General form of the for loop or syntax you can call using a for keyword. You have already written in Java keywords for, while, do while. You have already written, right? There are total 50 keywords. For is a keyword, then open bracket, initialization, then condition. After initialization you have to give semicolon, then condition, give the semicolon, then last part is iteration. It may be increment or it may be decrement or both, increment or decrement, or you can use both the statements. So in this part here, then initialization and condition you have to separated by semicolon. Here no need to give at the end of this statement, no need to give semicolon. Is that clear? This is a simple syntax. Now see, I have written here small syntax. For is a keyword, initialization, condition, then iteration. Inside this loop, whatever we are going to execute, that statements we have to write, right? When these statement will execute until our condition should be satisfied or condition is true, then these statements will going to execute. Okay, see, I have written small example. For I equal to 0, initialization. Initially I value is what now? 0. Then condition I am giving I less than or equal to 3. If condition is true, then execute this statement. After executing this statement, increment the I value, or if you use decrement I minus minus, it means decrement the I value. Okay, so initially I value is what? 0. Then I less than or equal to 3. Now what is the I value here? I value is now what? 0. 0 less than or equal to 3. Condition is true. If condition is true, next task is what? Execute the below statement. What I have written statement? Here I am printing one statement. What to print? Hi AITM should be print, right? Here our condition is true, then this statement will execute, right? See, another example. Int I have declared. This is a small example, right? Here how many times hi AITM will print? 0 time, first time, yes, yes. Wait, or okay. ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಕಿರಣ್. ಓಕೆ. Here our condition is true, so 0 less than or equal to 3, then this statement will execute. High AITM is executed. After executing what? I value is incrementing. I value now becomes 1. So 1 less than or equal to 3, condition is true, execute high AITM. Then after executing this, next is increment the I value. I value becomes 2. So 2 less than or equal to 3, condition is true, execute high AITM. Then increment the I value. I value becomes now 3 less than or equal to 3, condition is true, high AITM will print. Then after incrementing I value, it becomes 4. So 4 less than or equal to 3, condition is false. In that case, control come out of this loop, no need to execute. So this is the meaning. Now see here I have written the natural number is, I am printing numbers, right? Means I value I am printing. So initially I have declared I value per integer type int I have declared. Then for I equal to 0, in initialization of I equal to 0, then I less than 3 I am using condition, then increment I value. So 0 less than 3, condition is true, execute the natural number is what is the I value now? What is the I value? Initially I value is what now? 0. So 0 less than 3, condition is true here, right? If condition is true, I am printing the I value. See here, plus I. Print the I value, right? Plus I. So what is the I value now? 0. I value is 0. The natural number is 0. Then it is printed. Now after printing this, the next is what? Increment the I value. Now I value becomes what? 0 to 1. So 1 less than 3. 1 less than 3, condition is true. Now natural number is, what is the I value now? 1. So natural number is 1. So now is 1 is printed. After 1 is printed, increment the I value. What is the I value now? 2. 2 less than 3, condition is true. Now the natural number is, I value is now 2. 2 is printed, right? Now increment the I value. So I value becomes 3. 3 less than 3, condition is true or false? 3 less than 3, condition is true or false? False. So false. In that case, control comes out of this loop, no need to execute this line. So we have repeatedly executed natural number based on our requirement. Here I am going to print the I value. So I value, whenever I value is incremented, same value is printed here, 0 1 2, right? So this is what working of for loop. I hope you understood this concept. And in exam, if they ask, you just write simple example, syntax, then why you are using for loop. That's it. Definition, syntax, and one example. Then if time is there, you have to write the output in box. Put the box, then you have to write the output. Okay. Now here here I am using I initialization of I equal to 1 I have used. So how many numbers will print? Basically 1 to 10 or 1 to 9. How many numbers will going to print? 1 to 10 will print in this example. Okay, 1 to 10 is print. Now in Java they have mentioned variations on the for loop. So in Java you have to learn these concept. That for loop you have already know in C or C++, that is basic language, but in Java special case they have considered and they have put in your syllabus, that is some variations on the for loop. In exam they may going to ask explain variations on the for loop, like that they will going to ask. Okay, let's see what are the different variations we have in for loop. One of the most common is use of multiple loop control values, multiple loop control variables, sorry, not values, variables. So what do you mean by multiple loop control variables? This one is first variation. Okay, I'll have to write one serial number 1 2 3 like that. So one multiple loop control variables. Now see here, multiple loop control variables I will take like this. In iteration statement I will write, I told to use either increment, decrement or both. Here I am using both. One is incrementing, another one is decrementing. So this I am going to separate with the help of comma, with the help of comma. Okay. So here I am going to print I and j values. So how this will work? First, initialization of I equal to 0 and j is equal to 5, right? Initial value I and j values. Now check I less than j. 0, I value is what? 0 less than j value 5. Condition is true. Yes, if condition is true, print the I and j value. So now I and j value is what? 0 and 5. Executed this line, 0 and 5. After executing, what is the next task? Increment the I and decrement the j value. Incrementing I value means I value 0 to 1 is incremented. 1 less than j value is what? J value should be decrement. What is the j value? 5. So decrement of j, it becomes 4. So 1 less than 4. Condition is true or false? Condition is true. Then print the both values. I and j. I value is 1. J value is 4. Understood this concept? Now after executing this, increment the I value. Now I value becomes 2. Previous I value is 1. Now after incrementing, I value becomes 2. Then j value becomes 3. 2 less than 3. Condition is true. Print the both numbers 2 and 3. After printing this, next is what? It may be it increment to 1, that is I value. Now I value becomes now 3. J value becomes 2. 3 less than 2. Condition is true or false? All of you say condition is true or false? False. So in that case, control comes out of this loop. Have you understood this statement? I and j, incrementing I and decrementing j value. Okay, here I have facing small problem. If I write here in my slide, okay, so automatically my operating system is aborted or terminating. So that's why I can't use to text editor in this slide. That is a big problem I am facing. So that's why I am telling in my mouth. So please try to understand. If you have still any doubts, please ask me. Okay. Suppose I have to write this I and j value in this slide. So my operating system is not supporting. I am using two operating system. One is Ubuntu, another one is Windows operating system. So I don't know, I am facing lots of problem. If I use this, then automatically my OS is terminating. Then also I am losing your attendance also. That's why I am not writing. Okay. Are you understanding right in this explanation, in this type of explanation? Okay. So this was one variation in multiple loop control variables. You just write variations of for loop 1, give the heading multiple loop control variables. Here initialization and iteration expressions for each variables are separated by commas. You just write on this, separated by commas, and give one example and you write the output. That's it. Okay. So shall I move to another variation? Another common variation involves the nature of the loop control condition. See, nature of loop control condition. Second variation is control the condition. This condition does not need to involve the loop control variables. Here this will not need loop control variable. It can be any valid boolean expressions. In our example, the loop continues to execute until the user types the letter S at the keyboard. Let's see an example. Here I am using example. Now the loop continues to execute until user types the letter S at the keyboard. So here I am printing press S to stop, right? For I equal to 0, initialization of I value is 0. Now I am reading from one character from the keyboard. I am putting that character in condition, that is system.in.read. This method I am going to teach in next class. This is another way to read a character. System.in.read converted into char. So this is explicit conversion. All of you know this. Explicit conversion is not equal to yes. Yes means you have to type yes. It is in capital letter. Remember, this one is capital S. Until you press yes, capital, it will keep on execute. So now if this condition is true, come out of this loop. Otherwise you have to display the I value, that is whatever you are getting the I values in. Now we are getting I value is 0, so I value will going to print. See, first it will display press yes to stop. Okay, this line will print. Then after, if you press small s, see, if you press small s, it will display like this, pass 0 and 1. It will display pass 0 and 1. After printing this, again if you press pass a small case letter s, it will take two values, that is 2 and 3, right? Then if you press a capital S, directly control come out of this loop, because condition is true. If condition is true, directly come out of this loop. If condition is false, in previous examples we have discussed, if condition is true, execute this following statements, but here ulta palta. If condition is true, condition is false, come out of this loop. So this is another example of variation. This variation name is what? Control condition. Variation what? Control the condition. Here we are making ulta palta, right? Understood this concept? Okay, this is second variation, and now we'll move on to, that is third variation. I hope you understood this previous concept, so no need to execute this one. Missing pieces. So third variation, all of you write missing pieces. Some interesting for loop variations are created by leaving a piece of the loop definition empty. So compulsory we have to use in for loop what? Initialization, condition and increment or decrement. Three kind of statement we have, but we can miss those conditions or statements. We can say statement. So in Java we have three possible for all possible statements, that is initialization, condition or iteration portions. So here we can keep blank spaces. Any one we can keep blank spaces. See, now see in this example what happened. For I equal to 0 I have written, then semicolon, then I am giving condition I less than 3, but here I am not using increment and decrement. So this is what missing piece of code. Understood this in for loop. So what is the output for this? Can anyone guess? So here iteration expression is missing, right? We can miss initialization, or we can miss condition, or we can miss iteration in declaring for loop. While declaring for loop, this is also possible in Java language. Suppose same way if you use in other language, so you will get error, but in Java it will supports all kinds of variations in Java. Okay, so here let me trace this problem. I equal to 0, done. So I value is now what? 0 less than 3. Condition is true. Yes, if condition is true, what to do? Print the next line. What is the next line? Pass. I mean this one is small statement I have written. So you can write number is, like that you have to write. So now I am printing the I value. I value print now 0. I value will print 0. After printing, what I have written here? Increment the I. Here I am writing increment, right? So 0 becomes what now? 1. So 1 less than 3. Condition is true, right? Still we are in loop. Okay. 1 less than 3. Condition is true. Execute the I value. That I value becomes 1. After printing 1 value, increment the I value. Now I value becomes 2. 2 less than 3. Condition is true. Execute the I value. I value is 2 now. Now see, I value printing the I value, then now increment the I value. I value becomes now 3. 3 less than 3. Condition true or false? False. So no need to execute this line. So in this example, that is a missing pieces means you have skipped iteration portion. This instead of writing here, you are writing in statement. So this is also possible in Java. Please write on this missing pieces. Here one example you have to write. For I equal to 0, I less than 3, then here leave this space, then you mention it here which portion you are missing. Here iteration expression is missing in for loop. Written. Okay. Here example, the initialization portion is also moved out of the for. Now in this example we have missed iteration, but here in second example we will miss this initialization portion. Now initialization portion looks like this. So initially leave this. For I didn't mention the initialization portion, but I have used semicolon. Then I am giving the condition. Then I am not using iteration portion here, just I am using condition. Are you getting these logics in for loop? This is a specialty of for Java language, right? So here instead of writing initialization in for loop, I have declared it in outside the for loop. So I equal to 0 I have used. Then instead of writing increment operator, I am using this operator in statements. Okay, so like that we have discussed in previous example. Now only I am writing condition. So what will happen? I value initially 0, enter into for loop, 0 less than 3, condition is true, execute the I value. Now I value becomes 0. Here initialization expression is moved out of the loop. I mean we have written different above the for loop, or skipped skipped writing in for loop. That's it. Now 0 less than 3, it will execute I value is 0. Now after executing this line, control comes here, then increment the I value. Increment I value, it becomes 1. 1 less than 3, condition is true, execute the I value 1. After printing, next task is incrementing. So 1 value, increment the 1 means 2. 2 less than 3, condition is true, print the I value, that is 2. Now increment the I value. Now 3 less than 3, condition is false, no need to execute this statement. So you get the results 0, 1, 2, like that. Here no need to give compulsory pass hash, you just write I, or you just write number is, like that you have to write. Don't become confused. Pass hash, it's for our understanding, they have written. Don't confuse pass hash. Is that clear? So understood this example, missing pieces. Any doubts in this example? Sujit? Soumya? Any doubts? Okay. Now another important concept in for loop, that is infinite loop. Here we can create infinite loop, means without satisfying condition, it keeps on executing the statement whatever you have writing inside the for loop. To make infinite loop, that is for, so here you have to write, instead of writing initialization, condition and iteration, you just give 2 semicolon inside the for loop, that is for semicolon 2 semicolon. If you give like this will keep on executing repeatedly, means infinite times it will going to execute. Shall I give a demo for this? What to do? Shall I give a demo? Let's see. So here I am going to use this statement. I am going to execute repeatedly, that is stay safe in your home. Okay, I am using for loop, then give 2 semicolon, then inside the bracket you have to write, then save this. Now open your command prompt, change the directory into desktop, then compile this Java program. So now compiled. Okay, compiled. Now I will execute Java MC. Let's see, continuously it is executing. Are you getting the screen? Continuously it is executing here. Stay safe in your home, stay safe in your home, like that it is executing. It is infinite loop. It is what? Infinite loop. So after press press Ctrl C, it will going to terminate that loop. Okay, so this is a small example of using infinite loop. So you can create an infinite loop that never terminates until you terminate manually using the for by leaving the conditional expression empty. Here if we are not using conditional expression, so it will keeps on executing the statements. Okay, so how to make infinite loop? With the help of for and two semicolons. That's it. Now another variation. These all are variations, huh? So all of you writing number wise, right? Here I didn't mention the numbers, so number wise you have to write. This is another number. Loops with no body. Java, the body associated with a for loop can be empty. This is because a null statement is syntactically valid. Body-less loops are often useful in Java language. So let's see here. Yeah, what I have written, see here, loops with no body I have written. So no body means here I am calculating some numbers, right? Here I am performing sum plus equal to, what kind of expression it is? Sum plus equal to, sum plus equal to. Have you seen this kind of expression in previous class? Plus equal, minus equal. Have you remember shorthand assignment operators in shorthand assignment? Okay, we are using shorthand assignment here. So what will happen? See here at the end of for loop I am giving semicolon. This one is important point. I am giving semicolon at the end of for loop. So how this output will work? So initially I value is 1. So 1 less than or equal to 3. Condition is true here, right? If condition is true, execute the next statement. What is the next statement? I am printing the sum value, but how will get the sum value here? Initially sum value is 0. So this statement I can rewrite like this. Now I am getting sum is 6, means 1 plus 2, how much? One plus 2 plus 3. Add these three numbers, you will get number is sum is 6, right? So this statement I can rewrite like this. Sum is equal to sum plus I comma I plus plus. Here I can write this expression, sum plus equal I plus plus. Instead of writing this, I am using definition like this. Sum is equal to sum plus I comma I plus plus. It means increment the I value, then add into sum, previous sum value. Here I am getting what is I value now? 1 less than 3. Condition is true. So apply this here. sum is equal to what here? 0. Initially sum value 0 plus I value 1. 0 plus 1, 1. After sum is 1, now increment the I value. I value is now 2. So sum value is previously 1. 1 plus I value becomes 2. That is sum is 3. Increment the I value. I value becomes now 3. 3 less than or equal to 3. Condition is 2. True, right? So 3 plus 3. Previous sum value is 3. Now I value is 3. 3 plus 3 is what? 6. So this is what we are using loops with no body. So this is another kind of variation. While writing in exam, don't write like this. Compulsory you have to write class name, public static void main, right? Then inside you have to write this block of code. Directly don't write this. It will not effective while giving the marks. Is that clear? So instead of writing all the code, I just using the main logic of the code. Don't write same in your theory exam. You have to write class name, method name, then only you have to write these codes. Now another exam, another variation, declaring loop control variables inside the for loop. Declaring loop control variables means what? Here I have used differently int I, then sum. I have used apart from this for loop. Then I am taking these variable names I and sum inside my for loop, right? Instead of writing this way, you also write for int I also you can use. For here only you can declare the variable names int I, right? This is what another variation, declaring loop control variables inside the for statement. Int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Print this statement. So here what will happen? The variable I is declared inside the for loop. See, keyword is int, or data type is int, variable name is I, initialization with 1. So this is also another kind of statement. Is that clear? Then printing the SOP AITM. What is the use to declare the variables inside the for loop? The scope of variable declared, this one is important, this line, declared within a for is limited to the loop. This I is only responsible for this loop only. If you use I in outside this loop, it will not effective. That is the meaning. Okay. If you use inside the for loop, so this variable will only responsible for inside this for loop only, not outside the for loop. Okay. Outside the loop it is unknown. For this purpose, we will going to use declaring a loop inside the state for loop. Is it clear? Second, last variations, declaring a variables inside the loop. You can give heading like this, and this is a small example. Do you understood this concept? Okay. Sujit, now another variation, last variation, enhanced for loop. This topic, there is another form of for loop called enhanced for. These provides a streamlined way to cycle through the contents of a collection of objects such as an array. So this we will going to discuss in chapter number 5. Okay, here they haven't mentioned the uses of enhanced for loop. So in array concept, while discussing array concept, at that time we will see the another enhanced for loop. Okay, here they haven't mentioned any information regarding this. We will see in array chapters. Okay, so this is last variations of enhanced for loop. Now I hope you understood what you mean by for loop and different variations in for loop. Have you understood and have you written these notes in your notebook? Reply. Here I have little bit confusing with these questions. Can portions of a for statement be empty? Say yes or no. What is the answer for this? Can portions you know, initialization, condition, iteration, these all are portions. You can say, can portions of for statement be empty or no? What is your opinion? It cannot be empty. Yes, all three parts of the portions may be empty. We have seen these different portions: initialization, condition, iterations. We have seen in our previous slides. Yes, answer is yes, right? Now the second one, show how to create an infinite loop using for. How to create infinite loop? How to create infinite loop? I have also given a demo for this. Don't know how to create a infinite loop? Say yes or no. I don't know. Don't know. Slide is seeing. How to create infinite loop? For followed by two semicolons. Have written or not written this one? I told to write these points. See, while asking the questions, if you are not able to answer, then what should I think? In next class, directly simply I put all the slides, then I will going to read it. That's it. Simple question it is. How to create infinite loop? Just for, then two semicolons you have to use. How to create infinite loop? Okay. For, then followed by two semicolons. That's it. Now another one. What is the scope of variable declared within a for statement? What is the scope? This means we will write for int I. That is the scope of variable declared inside the for statement. Int I. To declare like this. So what is the scope? If we declare like this, that variable should be responsible within that loop only, not outside. That is the answer. I already told, this one is also important. I told while explaining that slide. See, declaring a loop control variables inside the for statement. The scope of variable declared within A for is limited to the loop. It is only responsible inside this loop only, not outside. If it is outside, you will get the error I is undeclared, like that you will get. Is that clear? So answer is what? Limited to the loop only. Is that clear? These all are basic. Okay, these all are basic questions. So still time is there, another 5 minutes, so we'll discuss this while loop. Okay, now we have seen how for loop will works, then what are the variations in for loop we have seen. Then I hope you understood, but I still I have doubts if you are understanding or not. So my job I have told. So if you have still doubts in that variations, please ask me. Okay, now another loop, while. A loop is used for executing a block of code statements repeatedly until a given condition returns false. If condition is true, it will keep on executing the statements repeatedly. If condition becomes false, then control comes out of that loop. Okay, this is the definition of while loop. Now we'll see syntax. Initialization, first we have to use initialization of variable followed by while is a keyword. Here we have to write condition. Now after opening the bracket, here we have to print our statement, or we have to write statement. It may be expression or it may be print statement. Then next step we have to write increment or decrement condition. This is the passion of while loop. First what? Initialization, then while followed by condition, then statement, then increment or decrement. See, one example I have taken. While I equal to 1, sorry, int I is equal to 1. So it is called what? Initialization. First line, right? Now while condition, what I have given, I less than or equal to 10 I have given. This is called condition. Condition is what? I less than or equal to 10. Inside the while keyword I have to give. Next I am giving statement SOP. What to print? High AITM should print. After writing this, next is increment or decrement. Here I am mentioning increment operator I plus plus, then close the while loop. So let's see what will happen. Here consider I value is 3. I value is 3. Now I value, sorry, in I less than or equal to 3 you have to consider. Instead of taking 10, 3. I equal to 1. So 1 less than or equal to 3. Condition is true. Then execute high AITM. After executing, next task is what? Increment the I value. Now previous I value is 1. After incrementing I value becomes 2. 2 less than or equal to 3. Here consider 3. I have written 10, but you have to consider 3. Condition is true. 2 less than or equal to 3. Condition is true. Then execute high AITM till executed. After executing this, next line is what? Incrementing the I value. Now I value becomes 3. 3 less than or equal to 10. Condition is true, right? So execute high AITM. After printing, I increment the I value. Now I value becomes 4. 4 less than or equal to 3. Condition is false, right? In that case, control comes out of this loop. Then we have 3 lines of statements executed. This is a passion of while loop. Is it clear? Everybody understood this? Okay. Okay, fine. Tomorrow we'll continue the other class. You can now disconnect, all of you. Thank you.